I know, it's not much of a looker, but bear with me, okay? I can explain. Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome to a brand new series. We call it the ATS OwnOps, Owner Operations. And that's exactly what we are. We are an owner operator in this series. We have our very own truck. Granted, it's not much. I'll tell you more about it, the backstory here. But yeah, it might not look much. Bit worn down. That might be the understatement of the year, but it's ours. It's ours, all right? Anyway, so we have a job. We have debts, which we have to pay off because I had to loan from the bank to buy this thing, this truck and trailer combo. We have 150,000 and we are 150,000 in debt, so we had to pay that off. So to avoid interest, and we have to pay that off ASAP. So let's get to work. We're starting off in Wyoming, in the southwestern corner of Wyoming in Evanston, making our way to Price today to warm things up. And let me tell you the backstory of where this series came from. What's the backstory of our guy here and how things work. Now, the good thing, as you can see, for those who have gotten their OCDs triggered, it's not all filthy, because I did have enough money to reupholster. Is that what you call it? The interior. Yeah, so the interior looks pretty good. I prioritized reworking the interior, but I didn't have enough money to work on the paint job outside anymore. But at least when we stay inside like this, it doesn't look that bad, right? Actually looks pretty new, because it is new. It's reupholstered. Something like that. And we have amazing sounds. Perfectly fitting for this kind of truck. Now, even the tires are a bit worn down, rusted and everything. I'll share more details as we go. The technical details on how I was able to make this work. But first, let's enjoy the sounds from Kriechbaum. The engines from Kriechbaum. And the interior sounds from Zeemod. Put those windows up so I can talk to you guys. Alan is happily sleeping right there. Actually, he didn't want to enter a while ago. If you guys are my patrons, then you might have seen I released a behind the scenes video on how I configured this truck. So those are available for patrons. And in that video, Alan could not be found anywhere. I couldn't find him. I was trying hard, but he didn't want to enter the truck. It was too filthy for his taste. I had to convince him otherwise. I had to give him some treats, strike a bargain and whatnot. But at the end of the day, he's here, so I'm happy. And now he's happily sleeping. He just doesn't want to look outside. In the inside, the interior, he's perfectly fine. But yes, outside, I think it's too much for him. Let's turn on the lights here. Now, we cannot afford any penalties because, as you guys saw, we are 150,000 in debt and we only have 12K here. So we'll be saving up and paying off our debts, and then we can think about repainting this truck. And then we can think about buying a different truck when we get to that point. But first things first, right? Let's get ourselves out of debt first. And let's have an emergency fund and everything. So this is going to be like, oh yeah, that's actually a good point. This series is not only going to tackle about trucking items. It's not only about the driving, but also about managing our finances in a realistic way. Not really about like a business, but more like an individual having expenses and having income and having to balance the two to make sure that we end up having something in surplus instead of in shortage. But yes, those are the things that we will tackle in this series. Huge thanks to the community for all the ideas that this brought about. It's thanks to you guys that this series came into play. Because for those who are not familiar, this actually came about in the last stream when we were checking out Fred Scania. Alex brought up a point that he was waiting for a season, like a season 2, a new season of ATS, you know, a Let's Play series. And then from there we started discussing. The chat had a lot of nice ideas, and then this idea of having rusted parts in the beginning came about. It's a nice starting point, right? And so here we are. But yes, our guy here is actually, he was an office worker. Yeah, that's his background. Works 9 to 5, sometimes 9 to 6 jobs. And at some point he just got fed up. He said there is an actual term for it, but I cannot say it here. So, to heck with this crap. Oh, okay, we can bypass the way station, looks like, because that shows a green. Okay, looks good. So we don't have to stop here. That will save us a bit of fuel. It's a bit of momentum. Good. Alright. So yes, he just said, one day he just said to heck with this. He quit his job. He tried to look up for all the savings that he had, which there was barely any because he was doing paycheck to paycheck. So he went ahead, got to the banks and loaned whatever he could. And then he bought a truck and trailer with whatever money he was able to loan. And that's where we are now. So that's why we have some debt from the bank. That's why we have this filthy truck here, because this is all we could afford. But yes, managed to fix the interior first. That's the priority, right? As I said in the previous stream, interior, spend your time there 90% or more of the time. So might as well make it look very nice and not cringy. And so at least we got that part right. So from here, then it's up to us. We take over the reins. We are in control here, guys. It's going to be a group effort, a community effort, like how this series even came about in the first place. So we'll be working together to decide which direction to go, literally and figuratively, you know, which job to take, what to build on next, what to save up on next. And in the process, I will do my best to avoid penalties. Oh my goodness, this looks amazing. That is going to be our thumbnail shot right there. Beautiful. Yes, so we are in 1.42 now, guys, getting into more of the technical details. So I'm using the default force feedback settings. I've had a few people who asked me about that. I haven't really tinkered with it. I just set the FFB, the force feedback settings, to default. That's what I'm using. They can be improved, I think, but I'm not savvy enough to play with them, so I'm just using it however, you know, living with it. And that looks great. Sunsetty vibes. The other trucks are looking pretty shiny in comparison to us, huh? I'm kind of feeling a bit out of place here. They look so nice. But we'll get there, right? We all have to start somewhere. And also, as an office worker, I'm not really the best truck driver, so that gives me an excuse to sometimes crash onto things, maybe. I did go to trucking school, had a little bit of experience, just enough so I can drive my own truck. So we're not starting from zero, but yes, there is plenty of headroom to improve on. But yeah, no complaints here. Despite the rust, despite the wear and tear, as you guys saw in the exterior, the engine itself is pretty stable. Yeah, pretty good quality from where I bought it. In the second-hand market, there was a guy. Let's call him, what should his name be? Uncle Jack. our uncle, because it always comes from the uncle, right? All these storylines always start from the uncle. Uncle Tim, Uncle Jack, Uncle Bob. Everything starts with an uncle who had a pretty beat up truck that was just lying there. And so I said, why don't you sell me that truck? At the end of the day, I think Uncle Jack kind of swindled me because I paid too much for it. With this amount of money, I bet I could have bought a brand new truck, a new shiny one. Not this rusty piece of... Nah, it's a good truck, it's a good truck. It just needs some TLC, right? Some tender loving care. So that's the plan for now, but it's always up to change depending on you guys. If you let me know. Can be we can save up to pay for debt. That's my number one option. That's my ideal option. You can also say YOLO, let those debts run its course. The interests are extreme though, so I don't really advise that. So we can save up and instead get a better paint job, and then we pay off the debts afterwards. But I don't like that approach, to be honest, because I kind of like basking in this rusty environment, you know. Oh, don't start shaking on me. I kind of like this rusty vibe, you know. It gives us, it's very humbling starting from here, knowing that we have a long way to go. And in terms of financial savviness, you know, the right thing to do financially, it's having an emergency fund. So we do have an emergency fund here. We have 12,000 just in case we encounter any accidents that the insurance won't cover, or the co-insurance that we need to pay. You know, if we have a deductible, or if we get into an accident and the insurance takes care of it, we still have to pay something. Yeah, so it's not all covered by the insurance. If we get into penalties, you know, violations, beating the red light or other violations, then we need some money. So that's where the emergency fund comes in. So we'll have to make sure that we have that before we get into any other payments, either that's for debt or for parts or whatnot. Yeah, but yes, we have the emergency fund. Now we're saving up to pay the debt. First, tackling the amount that has the biggest insurance, biggest interest rather. That's the one with the 50,000 debt. Because we have two debts. One is 100,000, one is 50,000, and the interest is much bigger on the 50,000 one. So we'll pay that off first, and it will feel really like a big relief once we get rid of those debts. So trust me on this, okay? Trust me on this. Let's save up and pay off those debts. Oh wow, look at the sudden sunset in there. Sunset vibes. The sun is still there, kind of lingering about, but mostly it's starting to wave goodbye. Looking good. Alright. Hey, McDonald's up ahead. Anyone want a burger? No, we're saving up. No eating until we pay off the debt. Provo, okay, I think we're almost here. Let's get our Jake brake in. There we go. Just floating gears here. Slow down. Beautiful. Very raspy. Very gruffy engine. Perfect for the state of the truck. Perfect of the state the truck currently is in. And look at that mountain up ahead. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? Are we still in Utah? I think so, right? Provo is in Utah. But where are we delivering this anyway, Alan? Well, Alan is totally asleep now. Can't even see him anymore. Can we sleep first before we deliver this? Let me think. Let me see. 87 miles. We have 9 hours to go. It will be too short. It will be too close. So I think we'll have to do a bit of night driving, guys. So I think this episode has a bit of everything, right? Bit of daytime, bit of sunset, bit of nighttime. It won't be as scenic, but we get to enjoy the lights a bit more. And the good thing about that is we can get to hide the rustiness. So we actually oftentimes have to drive at night in these first parts so that people wouldn't cringe away from us. They won't see how rusty we are, literally. Nah, it just so happened that it's night now. But in future episodes, we'll try and do a bit more daytime driving, so it's a bit more scenic. It's so dark. Let's turn on the high beams here. We'll turn it off when there's someone approaching, so it won't blind them. Right now, I think it's pretty quiet. It's pretty interesting. Looks scary. Looks perfect for October though, for Halloween. Okay, there's someone coming in. Turn off the lights. I'm sure he appreciates that. Okay. Very nice. Man. This guy. This truck, not the most powerful, I must say. We are hauling 15 tons of TVs from UPS to Walmart. Lots of activities there, especially holidays coming up. I can imagine lots of people buying new TVs. Thanksgiving is coming soon as well, right? And with that comes Black Friday and everything. That's what, a month from now, maybe? Something like that. Yeah, so yes, we have to stock up, start stocking up. And we are doing our part. That's why they actually took a chance on us as an owner-operator. And yes, I actually haven't explained that part yet. Why it's called OwnOps. We are an owner-operator, guys. We are not going to be building an empire here. Will not be employing other people. It will just be us. So I won't hire drivers. I won't get new trucks. Well, I'll get a new truck, but it will be for us only. You know, so we'll only have one truck at a time. Because this is not going to be like a big trucking company. This is just me, an owner-operator. That's the name. So we'll focus on saving money, spending it for new parts, for better paint jobs, for better trucks, but not for building a trucking empire. Which is nice and all, but I think this is more personal, right? So this is a bit similar to our goal in ATS 2. We'll be doing that here too, which is, I think, a lot of people will like. ATS and ETS OwnOps is going to be a thing. Good. Alright, so that's the premise of this series. So I'm really looking forward to progressing with you guys and maybe driving in daytime, so it's not as scary as this. Driving through mountain roads. Thank goodness the roads are amazing, aren't they? But yeah, the lack of people in here makes me a bit question the safety. Looks a bit shady. Also seems to be a way station up ahead. Let's see if we get lucky this time. Yep, still green. Ah, nice. And for those who are wondering, this is actually when there is no pop-up, that is an option. Yeah, if you go to your gameplay settings, you can choose to keep the route advisor hidden. There's a checkbox there. That will make things more immersive so you don't get those pop-ups. You'll hear something, you'll see it, but you won't get the overlay. So that way you make it as realistic as possible. Good. Good. Alright, let's just stop up ahead. Domino's, KFC. We need to stop though? Not really. You just need to plow on. Yeah, the top speed of this truck is not that high. The transmission is set up more for heavy hauling-ish. Or maybe it's just not powerful enough, but I find that 60 is the absolute maximum. Also, look at our fuel. We're traveling such a short distance and it's almost going half the tank already, so it has very small fuel tanks as well. So plenty of improvements to do, but at least it's moving fine, right? It's stable. The engine itself is in perfect condition. Uncle Jack, even if he kind of scammed me in how expensive it is, at least he didn't skimp out on the engine. That's at least one area where he really took care of the truck. But everything else, as you guys saw a while ago, meh. Could do better probably. So we have Uncle Jack to thank for that. Alright, I think we're close, guys. It's time to get paid. First job, first payment for our using our own truck and trailer. No matter how beat up it is, it's still ours. We have to celebrate it. That's the important thing as well, right? Celebrating the small wins. Doesn't have to be expensive. So maybe next episode, the start of next episode, we can go and buy a little something, you know, just get a little accessory, or I don't know, something that to add some design to the truck, just to commemorate our first salary. Doesn't have to be expensive. But yes, celebrating small wins, it's a very good way to keep on the path, you know, so we don't get overwhelmed with just saving and not getting anything out of it. And the night lighting is very creepy. Very nice, but very creepy as well. Okay, we're at Price. The good thing is we also discover a lot of cities, so there'll be plenty of jobs, and we'll start building our reputation here. As we deliver this successfully, Walmart and UPS will trust us more. Because yeah, if you just look at our company here, our truck and trailer, not really that trustworthy, is it? It's just that with all the demand coming up, all the holidays coming up, they didn't have much of a choice. Their drivers are working fully, and they were looking for some freelance guys, and there we are, owner operator looking for a job. So thank you for taking a chance on me, and hope you guys are happy. Hope both UPS and Walmart are happy. Now the trailer itself looks filthy, I know, but inside I also managed to clean it up and had it fixed up, so at least the cargo itself doesn't have to be filthy on its own. Yeah, the TVs inside that we're carrying are A-OK, perfect condition. It's just that the exterior really could do a bit of work. I didn't have enough money for it. I loaned up enough on the bank, and I don't want to loan more. Okay, let's go and turn our windows down here. I have to position myself. At least we don't have to park it there. That ramp is a bit tricky. Here it's a bit more straightforward, I think. Whew, look at that rust. So yes, if you want to see the behind the scenes footage where I set up the truck and trailer, config, share bit more background behind the scenes stuff, then you're more than welcome to join. Patreon.com/theclumsygeek, I believe, is the link. There should also be a link below in the video description. So you're more than welcome to become a patron and get access to all those behind the scenes footage. I think if I remember correctly, if you become like a $3 and up patron, then you should get access to those footages. That's completely optional. That's only for those who wish to support me and for those who are craving for more. So not required at all, right? But yes, huge thanks to everyone in the community for all your ideas, all the support, and looking forward to more episodes in both the series in ETS2 and ATS. Maybe we should call the ETS2 OwnOps as well. I don't know. You guys think about that. Anyway, let me know. Oh my goodness, I wanted to highlight the rustiness of it, but maybe it's better we don't show it. Oh, there it is. 229 miles, excellent. Our first paycheck, guys, now $9,500 actually. That's not bad at all. Yeah, we have 22k in the bank now. We do have loans. Look at this, 20% interest on the 50k. So we'll be paying that as soon as we can. So next episode, we'll take the most price per distance job, I guess. We'll see. Or maybe the longest haul one. Yeah, that one pays 14k. Ooh, that's interesting. Anyway, you let me know if you have any preference on the load, but for now, we'll leave it here, and hope you are looking forward to this series as much as I am. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, thanks for all the inputs, and catch you in the next episode. Clumsy trucking, guys, and bye-bye.